click 2 Electric Boogaloo, TC5 crew, coming straight at you, straight from the Boogie Down BX. There's a lot of stories about what huevo is. It's part of lofting. To me, in my opinion, from what I saw, freestyle, what they call lofting, which was a dance they did at the loft, which you see a lot in house, a lot of ground moves, was very popular too, just like breaking. But I think a lot of b-boys that turned to the loft style incorporated a couple of moves that made it huevo. And this is my opinion. One of the moves is when you see b-boys battle, and when they jump in the air and they grab the head of the opponent and put it on their nuts. That's why they call it huevo. Dale huevo means give the nuts. It's a dance that they used to go like this, and they used to jump in the air, and they used to go boom, like that when they battle. So they would say dale huevo. That was one of the main moves. It was a battle move at first that got into this lofting freestyle thing. Then it just turned into a dance. There's a social dance that was very easy, and then there's the more complex style of huevo, where the moves are twirling. It's a lot of circular moves, and you see it in house all the time. When the house dancer does all the rolls, then they go on the floor, then you see them going like this, and then dips, that's all huevo. The bridge, when you see them do the bridge, and then they do this, and then they do another bridge, that's huevo. A lot of huevo moves are in-house, but people just didn't know. The house dancers incorporated everything on top of what they did, because a lot of ex-b-boys and freestylers went into house. It's a direct connection. The music was also different. It was a little more electronic. I could play you music later, and you can film it. The music was much different. It was a different scene. Okay, the huevo came in right about, in my opinion, about, I don't know, 76, 77, about 77, 78. And then it died down mid-80s. It started to die down. It was a very popular dance. Here's another fact. When you see the movie Breaking and Electric Boogaloo, the clothes that they're wearing, they went to New York. And instead of learning hip-hop clothes, they found huevo clothing. They went to the clubs and saw the huevo dances. What you see them wearing in the movie Breaking is huevo clothing. Because when Shabba-Doo, Shrimp, and Taco went to New York, they saw the cut shirt, the punk rock bracelets, the big colorful pants. That's all huevo clothing. And they used that instead of the b-boy gear, because it fit the popping and boogaloo scene, I guess, a little bit more than the b-boy gear, which was a little more tighter. So that's a lot of that was huevo. Also, the group Dynamic Rockers, their famous b-boy crew, were all huevo dancers. They were all freestylers. They mixed a lot of huevo into their breaking too. There's a couple of tidbits. We all did it. We all did it. Rocksteady did it. New York City Breakers did it. We all did the dance.
Такой еще вопрос. Девушки танцуют huevo?
Do the girls do it?
Yeah. The way the guy and the girls were incredible. There was a Mrs. Wiggles, who was a huevo dancer, a Mrs. Wiggles. She was beautiful and she could dance. And there's a move that the guy and the girl do together. If you look at the Planet Rock video, you know the Planet Rock video? There's a part where a Puerto Rican guy and a girl are going like this. That's huevo. Look at the video, the Soul Sonic Force video, you see it. It was done with the guy and the girl. That was the highlight. A lot of b-boys lost. They were down with that scene. B-boys and rockers. There's a guy who's a famous Brooklyn rocker named Ringo. He did it. He was a freestyler and a lofter. A lot of b-boys mixed breaking moves. It's why you see breaking in lofting, because b-boys did the dance. I could show you footage. If you got internet, I'll show you a video right now of original freestylers that were b-boys. And you got to remember, the original word was freestyle. A lot of other names came associated with the club, the loft. But originally, it was all freestyle. It was all called freestyle. And the B-boys were definite down with it. There's a lot of moves that are in lofting that come from B-boys. And there's a lot of lofting moves in breaking. How did Top Rock influence house? I think, honestly, we can't say that house took from... House is a freestyle dance. All forms of freestyle borrowed. Breaking was a freestyle dance. Locking, everything was a freestyle dance that borrowed. But house has its own foundation that separates itself from breaking and other dances. What I will say is that the root to a lot of New York street dance from the late 60s up to funk and soul was rocking. Rocking is a dance that was part of all New York City. All of the boroughs in New York City did it. Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, all had rockers. Each borough had their own style. They developed their own styles. A lot of rocking is in breaking because a lot of the Puerto Ricans that were B-boys were also rockers. So they mixed a lot of rocking into breaking. I would say that there's steps that come from tap that B-boys and house dancers do, like the crossover. You see the crossover. That's not even from house or breaking, that's from tap dance. And it probably comes from a dance before it. I would say that house is more advanced rocking than it is top rock. Top rock is more b-boy. Rocking is a little more club and outlaw. So there's the club aspect of rocking, you see a lot of in house. That's my opinion, you know. You're gonna need a panel with house dancers and rockers to make the case. But I think today, because the top rock battles, now you see a lot of house dancers entering top rock battles and doing really well, you know, and that's attributed to the fact that both dances, in my opinion, came from rocking. And that's how I feel about it. They both came from rocking. Rocking was the father of New York street dance, as far as I'm concerned, and that's my opinion. There's a step called the Spanish hustle, and it goes like this. And this is rocking and hustle. All of this, the Latin rock, and all the dips. This is all part of rocking, and you see elements of that in house. A lot of the shuffle, a lot of the footwork, you see little bits and pieces in house. The dip, the drop, these are all moves that you see mixed into other dance styles. Well, as far as the dance level in Russia is high, obviously, because Russians represent in the competitions and do very well. Speaking on behalf of hip-hop, the B-boys and B-girls are phenomenal. And house, I've seen Russians represent in house. The popping scene is coming up. There should be a lot of Russian pride, because I always remind people that we borrow from Russian cultural dance in breaking, in hip-hop. So a lot of steps made its way into b-boying and is part of foundation. So I think you should have a lot of pride out here that movement that your ancestors created is embedded in hip-hop. I think that's a great thing to take pride in. And now there's b-boy crews in Russia that are building on that as far as their style, you know, and I think that's important. Cultural identity is important in hip-hop. You know, that's fifth element, knowledge of self. And to me, that alone should give a lot of Russians a lot of pride in what they do and make them excel in the dance. So, mad props to all my Russian brothers and sisters in street dance culture.